If you are hurting or scared right now, or lately these days, this is something that has helped me profoundly throughout my life because I've been through a lot of extremely difficult times. Remind yourself the job of the mind is to monitor negative or fearful thoughts and replace them with loving, empowering thoughts. In the meantime, seek out things to acknowledge that are beautiful and that you love. For example, if you're driving, acknowledge that you love your car, or you're grateful that you have a car. Look for things that you can notice, things that you can love, and feel that love. Feel that beauty. Because love and beauty are magical medicines. There was a time in my life where I went through 35 jobs in 4 years. You can't really comprehend this until you really break it down and think about it. If you lose one job, it could be devastating. Lose 2 or 3, 10, 20, 35 jobs. My closest friends would tell you I'm not exaggerating. I probably forgot 1 or 2. Yes, it was 35 jobs in 4 years. It was after the mortgage crisis. I was very successful in the mortgage business, and the entire industry was washed away. It was right after a divorce, and I owed $4,950 a month to my ex-wife. That's gross money. I had to make approximately $8,500 a month W-2, so that after taxes I could pay my ex-wife for alimony, maintenance, child support, and school. Not to mention to pay for my own survival. After 35 jobs in 4 years, I was completely hopeless. I didn't know what to do. I felt like everything I tried, all the powers of trying to cultivate positive thoughts, vision boards, focusing on positive things, everything seemed to fail. Nothing seemed to help. I tried everything. I was at the point of absolute devastation. I wound up close to homeless at my girlfriend's house, sleeping on her couch, with no privacy, no hope. People used to look at me and say things were going to be okay. But I could tell by the look in their eye, they were lying. It wasn't true. Things were not going to be okay. I had to deal with my thoughts on the most basic level I've ever had to before. I had to literally look at beliefs as my enemies, because my thoughts were telling me to commit suicide, to make it look like an accident, so my family could get the $1.7 million worth of insurance policies that I had. Nothing was seeming to help me. I had to turn my thoughts and my beliefs over to God constantly. I set up timers on my phone. 10 a.m., 1 p.m., 5 p.m., 10 p.m. to remind myself to confront my own mind and my own thoughts. To look at them and constantly turn it over. I began to witness my thoughts and my beliefs and constantly hunt out all the negative, scary, fearful, disempowering thoughts. I realized every thought, every belief, every word in my head in the English language, and the sound of my voice was an absolute lie. I had to hunt my thoughts, hunt my beliefs, hunt the narrative and the inner dialogue that was going through my head. And I had to cut them to shreds with an imaginary sword and reprogram myself by identifying the automatic thoughts that were happening on their own. They were extremely negative, and I had to acknowledge them and then replace them with positive, empowering thoughts. Those positive, empowering thoughts have to be true. And so you have to know what to say. You can say things like, I am love, I am peace, I'm a child of God. And you have to convince yourself that no matter what these thoughts are saying, the automatic default in a narrative, that they are not true. It's based off the echoes and remnants of unprocessed thoughts and feelings of a life. I had to take the reins and become the charioteer of my own self. The reins were my senses. The horses were my emotions. If anyone has ever ridden a horse, you know that if you pull too tight on the reins, the horse will try to buck you off, because it's painful to constantly pull on its mouth. But if you don't guide it with assurance to where you want to go, the horse will wander off course, chewing on grass, looking for water, and you will get lost. You have to hold those reins just right. You don't want to repress your emotions, but you don't want to let your thoughts run wild either. You have to realize that the mind is a terrible master, but a wonderful servant. You must be the witness to know that you are not the mind, that you can control the mind. You have to take an active role and not let it run the ship. You are the captain of your destiny. You must choose the thoughts you want to have. And as long as that's true, thoughts that fit reality, they will empower you. Because as we know from physics and chemistry, protons, or positive charged energy, are literally hundreds of thousands of times more powerful than negative energy. So the hundreds and thousands of negative reinforcements throughout your life that have told you you were less than, or that you're not going to make it, that you didn't deserve a good life, all those negative thoughts, hundreds of thousands of times, they program you to have these fearful, negative, depressed attitude. With just a few dozen powerful, embraced, powerful thoughts, can dissolve hundreds of thousands of negative thoughts. Doesn't happen overnight, but once you take an active role in remembering that you have the choice to decide how you're going to feel about your life in every situation, it automatically starts getting better. Rapidly, you gain control. It's like doing push-ups after you haven't done them for a very long time, or maybe you've never even done push-ups. It's extraordinarily difficult to do one or two. But in a few days, before you know it, you can do 10. After a couple of weeks, you could be doing 60 to 100 push-ups. This, your mind, is also a muscle. So remember, the mind is a terrible master, but a wonderful servant. You are not the mind. The mind is there to serve you. You decide what you think. As long as your thoughts are beautiful and powerful and true, they will dissolve hundreds of thousands of negative impulses. This has led me to the most challenging times of my life. The story I told you about 35 jobs, that was not only, I had to confront my own mind. And if I can do it, so can you.